exposing Indians who hate India. This is a Pepziti. Expose. I don't know why I have to say it that way. Pepziti. It sounds Italian to me. Pepziti. Exposing Indians who hate India. Pepziti.
No to war and free Palestine.
इतना
Subtitles are on. Okay, I mean, I guess it's good.
ज़्यादा hate मिलता है प्रियंका चोपड़ा
Okay, no, subtitles are on. Subtitles, English.
को कुछ नहीं बोलने की वजह से
Okay.
इंटरनेट पे लोग लगातार प्रियंका चोपड़ा को बोलने लगते हैं कि वो इजराइल को सपोर्ट करती है, लेकिन इन सबको शायद प्रियंका चोपड़ा की असलियत के बारे में पता नहीं।
अरे नहीं भाई तुम नहीं।
Oh, okay. I guess the first part doesn't get translated for me. Actors have no right to speak on politics. Let me just say that. Actors have no right to speak on politics because they clearly don't understand. They're of a different world reality. Like for me, I couldn't speak on Israel. I couldn't speak on Palestine because I have no freaking clue. I could care less, if I'm honest. I could care less because I don't know anything about it. But yeah, I guess I'll find out a bit.
नहीं समझ रहे, ये प्रियंका चोपड़ा ज़ायनिस्ट है और सबसे जरूरी बात वो इंडियन है, इसीलिए देखो उसका मुंह बंद है। अभी तुम बोलोगे कि तुम धुरंधर 2 को भी बॉयकॉट नहीं करोगे, तुम लोग प्रोग्रेसिव ही हो ना, फिर इंडिया के स्टांस को कैसे सपोर्ट कर सकते हो इंटरनेट पे? ये तो अनपढ़ अंधभक्त लोगों का काम है। हमारा काम है बस इंडिया को हेट देना, इतना सा काम नहीं होता तुमसे। ये देखो, एज एन इंडियन माई सोल पर्पस इन लाइफ इज टू मेक द वर्ल्ड हेट इंडिया। Hi guys, last
I mean, yeah. I mean, I believe it. There's a lot of people who believe the exact same way. There's a lot of people who believe exactly the same way.
वीडियो के बाद मुझे जो लगा था वही हुआ। कुछ लोग डाइजेस्ट नहीं कर पा रहे इंडिया प्लस इंटरनेट प्लस पॉजिटिविटी को एक साथ देख के, और हेटर्स का कॉन्स्टिपेशन तुमको कमेंट्स में दिख ही गया होगा। कौन है ये लोग? बाहर वाले? जी नहीं, इनमें से मैक्सिमम हमारे अपने फ्रेशली होम ग्रोन इंडियंस है। बाहर वाले तो उल्टा इनको बुद्धि दे रहे हैं अब कि अब तो ब्लाइंड हेट्रेड और नेगेटिविटी फैलाना बंद कर दो मेरे भाई, तुम्हारा ही घर है ये।
India is hopeless. I've seen people with this mindset a lot, and I've been living in India for 8 years now. I've heard and seen many variations of.
It's funny, he says he lives in India. The first thing I look at is the sky. It's like, I don't see anything blue. Oh, again, that's the one thing, just like I wish I could see the sky.
This sentiment, it's surprisingly prevalent amongst young people.
Yep.
Like, you'd expect them to be optimistic because they are the ones who actually have the time ahead of them to change India. Let me go to SF and start a company there. Let me go to London and sarcastically post about how much I miss UPI. But you know what? India wouldn't have UPI if the people who built it had a pessimistic mindset towards their own country and left.
But that's the thing. It's just like the younger generation tends to be more and more pessimistic, no matter where you are in the world. Anything that's starting like, so India's becoming like a first world very quickly. It's rushing its own self-hatred, because in the West, a lot of young generation hate America. A lot of young generation hate Britain. A lot of young generation hate all of Europe. Y'all who grew up in it hate it. And India is experiencing the same thing. The same situation where a lot of young people are growing up in it and absolutely hating it. I can't understand the mindset. I really can't. I've never fathomed that mindset where you grow up, you're giving every opportunity in life, and you're just unhappy for some reason. Sky is overcast. You say that, but every time I'm in India, I've always joked with my wife, I've never seen the sky while I was in India. Because it's always just smogged over.
To go build somewhere else.
कोई फायदा नहीं भाई, ये अभी तुमको 1000 रीजंस दे देंगे क्यों ये पॉसिबल नहीं है। ये इंडियन पेसिमिज्म वाला कीड़ा बहुत ही खतरनाक होता है।
In 2022, India received $111 billion in remittances. Now, imagine if all of those people were active members in India's local economy, working for Indian companies, spending money on Indian brands. How much further ahead would India be as a nation if that was the case? A country is as hopeful or as hopeless as people believe it to be. Your mindset and the collective mindset of this nation will influence the rate at which India grows. If India believes believes that it's going to stagnate, it'll stagnate. And if India believes that it'll be number one, it'll be number one, because actions flow out of belief. And I choose to be in India. I choose to believe in India.
अरे कौन सा इंडिया भाई? ये haters साउथ और नॉर्थ से होते हैं, ईस्ट और वेस्ट.
Good point. Good point. There's the thing. Again, something else I don't understand. That self-hatred. But then again, it's just a battle that was put on hold, has now been continued after hundreds of years of ownership towards Britain. I mean, it's I don't get it. I don't get it. But a lot of that stuff is probably cemented in through foreign power. Through foreign power. I mean, you can look at a lot of the organizations which hate America. A lot of them get their seed money from, guess what? Other nations. Because they're like a lot of the protesters, a lot of the protesting leaders are paid to be there, paid to organize. I mean, there's a reason why, like 3 hours after Maduro was taken out of Venezuela, flown to the U.S., 3 hours later, there was already an organized protest. Why? Because everyone's paid to be there. They don't, none of those people truly believe any of that. They're just paid to be. It's a job. It's a job. And some of those people are just brainwashed to be there as well.
से होते हैं, एक आइडियोलॉजी से, कास्ट से, रिलीजन से होते हैं. ये है इनकी आइडेंटिटी. इंडियन आइडेंटिटी से तो इनको छुटकारा चाहिए. तुम थोड़ा सा होप और पॉजिटिविटी दे दो इनको भारत के फ्यूचर को लेके, तुम्हारे पीछे पड़ जाते हैं ये.
अरे भाई इंडिया का तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता, ये वेस्ट वाले सही कहते हैं, डिलीट इंडिया.
तुम सारे प्रॉब्लम्स को फिक्स कर दो, फिर भी ये हेट देने के रीजंस निकाल लेंगे. उसको कैसे फिक्स करोगे तुम?
Why is it that Indians are so hated online? I mean, seriously, what is wrong with people? I recently posted this reel of my daughter doing the Indian head nod, and I got so many racist comments for this video. Now, this was just a sweet video of my daughter, and yet it got so much hate online. What?
The thing is just like, look at it, it's just cute. It's just cute. It reminds me of that skit that I saw the other day. Of those comedians, they went to I don't know his name. He went to, it's the Swedish guy, I think, went to India, and he's just like, is this vegetarian? Is that a yes or a no? What is that? Like, it's just like, yeah. It happens all the time. It's just it's one of those things that you just equate. I don't know why. It's funny because if I'm in India long enough, I start doing that. If I'm watching like enough like Indian films, I start doing that. For some reason, I don't know why. It's something that just your body just starts doing for some reason. Like I'll be talking with my wife and I'll end a sentence and I'll just do this. Why? But I think it's funny. I think it's like endearing, and it's every time I do it, I'm just like, oh crap! I can't believe I did it again. I did it again.
What is with this? No, I don't get it. Why are there so many negative things and Indians are just overly hated online? Now this just got me like a little bit of a glimpse of what it must be like to be an Indian online. Honestly, Indians are some of the nicest and most caring people that I have ever met. And on behalf of other foreigners, I just wanted to say I am so sorry for all of the hatred that you guys have had to face.
मैं ऐसे लोगों की बात कर रहा हूँ. बताओ इस जगह पे हेट देने का क्या पॉइंट है? कोई लॉजिक दिख रहा है तुमको यहाँ पे? लेकिन ये ब्राउन सी पॉइज इसको भी जस्टिफाई करने का कोई तरीका निकाल लेंगे.
अरे इंडिया ने तो यही दिया है दुनिया को, बस हमसे तो और कुछ होने वाला नहीं. एज एन इंडियन.
अब ये जो हेटर्स है, ये बस वो लोग नहीं जो इंटरनेट पे डिलीट इंडिया करते रहते हैं. ये वो लोग भी है जो जहां देखो वहां हगने बैठ जाते हैं, मेटाफोरिकली और लिटरली दोनों. जैसे देखो इन छछुंदरों को. एक कोरियन आदमी की रिजर्व सीट लेके बैठे थे ये. पुलिस के बोलने के बाद उठे. ये लोग नफरत बटोरने का काम करते हैं अपने देश के लिए.
इनका तो ख्याल करो, हमारे देश में आएंगे पहली बार.
अब शायद ये कोरियन आदमी अतिथि देवो भव नहीं, नफरत लेके जाएगा वापस. और ये नफरत फिर वो सोशल मीडिया पे भी फैला सकता है. फिर सोशल मीडिया पे ये नफरत एम्पलीफाई होके 10, 100, 1000 गुना बढ़ जाएगा और इनोसेंट लोगों तक पहुंच जाएगा. फिर रेसिस्ट कीबोर्ड वॉरियर्स आ जाएंगे इंडिया हेट में अपना योगदान.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's just like people will, the hatred spreads. the hatred spreads. I mean, just like with the Durandar, where people are complaining about propaganda, they'll only look at the problems and not look at like any of the positives. And the issue is if this continues and people continue being, you know, negative, and by the time I'm living in India, I'll be receiving hatred just because I'm there. Just because I'm a white man in India, I'd be getting hatred by everyone there, because it's just, you assume foreigner means opponent. Foreigner means enemy. That's just how the mindset is. It happens everywhere in the world. It's not just India that's exclusive to this, but India's been dealing with a lot of hate, which is why it's going to speed run the whole thing. It's going to speed run the whole thing. And that's the biggest problem with India rushing its first world problems. It's all of that stuff. All of that stuff is running way too quickly that now everyone's targeting India, and now India's getting on the defensive, and now innocent bystanders are going to get caught in crossfire.
देने के लिए, और ये एक साइकिल जैसा बन जाएगा और रिपीट होता रहेगा, इसलिए इनको तभी रोकना होता है। लेकिन इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं कि इंटरनेट पे कोई कुछ भी आलतू फालतू बोले इंडियंस को लेके तो उसको जस्टिफाई किया जा सकता है। कुछ लोगों को एक बीमारी होती है सेल्फ लोडिंग की। कोई अगर कहीं लिख दे कि इंडियंस तो एलियंस से बात करते हैं इसीलिए उनके साथ रेसिज्म जस्टिफाइड है, तो ये ब्राउन सी बॉयज उसमें भी लॉजिक ढूंढेंगे और बोलेंगे
हाँ मेरी नानी एलियन से बात किया करती थी, इसीलिए हम मानव जाति के लिए एक खतरा है, इंडियंस को तो जुपिटर पे रहना चाहिए। Full support, sir.
I live in Mumbai, and you know what? Yeah, trash, dirt, pollution, it is a big problem here, and it is frustrating. I do find it particularly annoying when I see people throwing trash on the floor. And sure, civic sense is something that is lacking in some people, but I also get frustrated when I hear many people saying, India is dirty. Okay, let's talk.
See, even he had to do it. Even he had to do it. And he's being positive. That's the thing. It's just like, again, you can enjoy being there and still find problems. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. Like for me, my biggest issue is the pollution and trash, which is basically pollution. That is basically it. Sure, again, a civic sense. There needs to be like a total rehaul of probably a system of government for like police and everything to kind of be more closely monitored, so that way no corruption takes place, because there shouldn't be someone who gets in a car crash, assaults an officer, and just gets away with things. What? Yeah, there shouldn't be situations where someone can pay somebody to get out, or you get beaten by an officer and you're given a pass. There shouldn't be these things. There really shouldn't be. Everyone should be allowed to be held accountable for what they do, but at the same time, you learn these situations. There needs to be a complete overhaul. Again, did it benefit me in some way when I was working towards the visa for my wife? Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, when there are things where you can actually call somebody and be like, hey, can you help me? It's great. But at some times there are bad situations where people do need to be held accountable for their actions. They do. Like if I'm in India, I cause a scene, I expect to be fined. I expect to be jailed. I expect for something to happen. I do. Just like if someone comes to the US, the same thing should happen to them. The same exact thing should happen to them. That's just how I feel. And eventually there will be an overhaul where everyone's held accountable. Where everyone is held accountable. When will it get to that point? Don't know. But that's just how it has to work.
Properly. Not emotionally, not racially. Let's talk historically. I grew up near London in the 1980s. 1990s. I used to visit London frequently, and anyone pretending that London was some kind of clean, civilized paradise back then is lying to themselves. It's even not perfect now, but back then, black rubbish bags piled up on the pavements, there was dog shit on the streets everywhere, graffiti on trains, walls, phone boxes, and council estates absolutely falling apart. The idea that Britain has always been clean? That is total revisionist nonsense.
Obviously, हर developed देश को सुधारने में बनने में समय लगता है. इसको explain करने की भी जरूरत नहीं.
Let's go further back. In the 1800s, the Thames was biologically dead, not a bit polluted, dead. In 1858, London had something called the Great Stink, so bad that Parliament literally shut down. In 1952, not ancient history, London's Great Smog killed around 12,000 people. So when exactly was this golden age of British cleanliness that people keep imagining? Here's the real difference. Britain got dirty first, then it got rich, particularly off stolen colonial wealth, and then not clean. India is being asked to industrialize, urbanize, lift hundreds of millions out of poverty and clean up all at the same time. Britain had 200 to 300 years to do this slowly. India has had about 75, starting from a position of poverty deliberately engineered by empire. And yes, empire matters.
इसीलिए मुझे इंडिया में लोगों का बिना मतलब वेस्ट को आइडलाइज करने वाला लॉजिक कभी समझ नहीं आता। भाई तुम जब दो इकोनॉमीज या देश को कंपेयर कर रहे हो प्रेजेंट डे में, तो उनमें लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड होना चाहिए ना। दोनों की स्टोरी अलग है। एक लूट के बर्बाद हुआ था और दूसरे ने लूटा था अपने फायदे के लिए। 75 साल में इतना प्रोग्रेस देखने के बाद
Yeah, that's the thing. Just like you just look at like the past 10 years in India with how much has just been done. Just been done because India has started to move back into profit. A massive amount of profit. That it is able to now change things once again in order to revolutionize all of India, in order to modernize, if that's even the correct term at that point. But it's just completely rehaul the entire system. Completely rehaul the entire system. And again, it comes with the wealth of a nation. And India's getting that wealth. India is sending a lot of wealth back to India by having its people working outside the nation and then sending their wealth back to their families to support their families. Again, I'm not all for the H1B visa. Like, I think there needs to be a complete revision in that. But at the same time, it works. It absolutely works, and it allows people it allows India to get more infrastructure down. It allows India to get more of a profit and income because people put stuff back into the economy, and it's going to grow. Eventually, there will be that because there are cities in India that are cleaner than a lot of the big Western states, or not states, sorry, big Western cities. A lot cleaner because they don't have the homeless issue. They go around, they actually take out the trash, and it's just been institutionalized in people's minds that, oh, a trash truck is coming around, I'm going to dump the trash. I'm just going to dump the trash because it's here. Yeah, that's just what it needs. That's just what it needs. And it's primarily about mindset. It's primarily about mindset. You just need to change the mindset.
ये होपफुल नहीं होंगे आगे के लिए। ये उल्टा बोलेंगे इंडिया इज अ फेल्ड स्टेट, इसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता।
India inherited broken cities, massive inequality, and zero margin for error. That's not culture, that's structural damage. London has about 9 million people. Delhi, for example, has over 30 million. You can't compare sanitation pressure and pretend that you're being serious. That's like comparing a bathtub to a swimming pool and blaming the water. And here's the bit that no one likes. Europe didn't magically become clean. It exported its dirt. Factories moved abroad. Pollution-heavy manufacturing outsourced. Plastic waste shipped to Asia and Africa. So yes, Britain may look pretty clean now because the mess happens somewhere else, out of sight, out of conscience. Also, India is not dirty everywhere. That's lazy thinking. Many Indian cities and neighborhoods today are cleaner than parts of the UK.
ये बात सेल्फ लोडिंग इंडियंस को समझ नहीं आएगी ना। इन लोगों को लगता है हर जगह सब कुछ डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग पे चलता है। वेस्ट तो शुरू से ही डेवलप्ड है, इंडिया शुरू से ही अंडर डेवलप्ड है, अब तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता और हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे इसको लेके। हम बस गाली बकते रहेंगे इंटरनेट पे।
So no, India isn't dirty because Indians don't care. India has dirty areas because of extreme population density, rapid urbanization, poverty, infrastructure lag, colonial neglect. Exactly the same reasons Britain was filthy when I was growing up. The difference? Britain gets context, India gets contempt. And that's not about cleanliness. That's about power, memory, and racism.
इनको समझ नहीं आता कि धीरे धीरे सब बदल रहा है। एक बार में सब नहीं होता। यहाँ जरूरत है थोड़ी होप, constructive criticism और अच्छी सोच की।
People make fun of India, but did you know they built the world's largest digital payment system? They performed the fastest 5G rollout in human history, and they built a digital ID system for 1.4 billion people.
Oh, and they also landed on the moon for less than the budget of a Hollywood movie. India's became the 5th largest economy in the world, overtaking the UK, its former colonial ruler. But what's even more crazy is that India is projected to become the world's 3rd largest economy, overtaking Germany and Japan by 2030. India now has the world's 3rd largest startup ecosystem, only behind the US and China, with 100 unicorns, which are $1 billion startups. India produces 2.5 million STEM graduates a year, more than the United States and Europe combined. India has also became the pharmacy of the world. They produce over 60% of the world's vaccines and 40% of the world's generic medicines. And when they landed on the moon, they landed on the moon's south pole, something NASA hasn't even done. They now have modern airports, the world's 2nd largest highway network, and they built this cool 22-kilometer long sea bridge.
So why are people still making fun of India?
Because they just want to, and you cannot do anything about it.
No, it's about keeping someone down. It's about keeping someone down. It's the bully seeing the nerd starting to gain muscle and constantly trying to keep him down in the dirt to destroy his momentum. Because if you can prevent the nerd from going to the gym, guess what? You remain the strong bully on the playground. It's that simple. There is no massive context to it. Everyone wants to be the strong one. Everyone wants to be the strong one. That's the problem, is a lot of people just think in that very tiny, childish mindset. Everyone wants to be, and that's what's funny. It's just like the same people that send hate towards India are like the same people that like hate their own nation. Of course, the people who like their own nation tend to also hate other nations. So it's just like hate all around. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. People should be just like normal kids, and well, why even kids? Just adults in a workplace who literally can see someone else. Oh, he's doing a better job than me. Okay, that's fine. I'll get him tomorrow. Like that kind of thing. That kind of thing. Instead of this weird nonsense, this weird childish bully nonsense.
अब तुम बोलोगे भाई तुम क्यों दिखा रहे हो ये सब, ये बाहर वाले बस व्यूज के लिए बोल रहे हैं. अरे वो नेगेटिव वीडियोस भी तो व्यूज के लिए ही बना रहे हैं ना. तुम क्यों चाटने पहुंच जाते हो फिर उनके कमेंट्स में?
Watch this video by Singapore's ex-deputy PM.
The name Singapore or Singapura was derived from Sanskrit, reflecting India's early influence in Southeast Asia.
This is the kind of history that should be taught in schools, but isn't. Because why is it so surprising that India dominated Asia for over 1,000 years? And unlike the Europeans, this spread was not violent or forced. It was peaceful. This Indianization, as they call it, happened through trade, religion, philosophy, literature, art, and voluntary adoption by people who genuinely admired India. And the evidence is everywhere. In Thailand, the national epic is Ramakien, a Thai version of Ramayana. The largest Hindu temple in the world is in Cambodia. The name of Indonesia's national airlines is Garuda. The Mekong River literally derives its name from Ma Ganga. It is one of the most remarkable examples of soft power in world history.
Every time. Singaporam. Yeah, basically. I mean, it's funny. I gotta say, I like how he does this, where people start speaking positively about India, and then it's just fast forwarded through. Because that's the thing, there's so much history in India. Does India have a few scars in its history? Absolutely. Where people would fight over power, fight over land, but that happens everywhere in the world. India's not special in that regard. War happens everywhere. I mean, the fact that it had it was the biggest trade hub in the world before all the kind of not just the colonial, just the dictatorships and the Mongolians, Persians, you know, just all those empires, all those conquistors trying to take over India, where it kind of lost its power. But it was the center, the trading hub of the world for centuries. And then that all changed. And now it for some reason, I have never understood hatred for the sake of hatred. I have never completely fathomed that. Like, I have understood being able to tease friends. I have understood being able to, like, I've understood that kind of stuff. I've understood that, where people can make fun of someone for the way, if you're friends with someone, you can tease them about being gay. You can tease them about the color of the skin. You can tease them about their accents. You can tease them about their gestures. You can tease them about that stuff. Why? Because it's not done with hate. When people start to do hate, I get it. There's something about it that is just so weird. How do you get to that point where you literally just feel that inside of you? That type of rage, where does that come from? I have never understood that. Never understood that. Even as a kid, I never understood it. But then again, I spent most of my time as a child in the hospital. But I had never understood that. It's something strange. There's got to be something in people's minds where they focus. I guess again, it has to do with my upbringing, because I was always sick, because I was like, you know what? Let's see if I make it another year type of mindset, because I was always unhealthy. That I got to enjoy every little aspect. I got to enjoy the little things. The problem is now, people aren't living their life with any kind of hardships. Their medical things are taken care of very quickly. You can go and get a pill for it. I mean, I had an incredibly rare ailment, and I spent most of my childhood in a hospital, so they were just trying to diagnose me. But the thing is, most people don't have to deal with that. Most of the people already know they're going to live a long life, longer than it used to be. People don't need to rush into a marriage, don't need to rush to have children to replace them because they're dying at 50. They don't. They have very cushy lives. They go join the workforce if they can. If not, their government might subsidize them like it does here in the U.S., which I don't think is completely right. But it's just like a lot of people just have this inner hatred because they never learned to actually love life. They never learned to actually love life. And I think that's the biggest downside. Are there bad things that happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. But just because bad things happen in your life doesn't mean you focus on them. It doesn't. Just because someone slaps you on the side of the road out of nowhere one day doesn't mean the last several hundred times you've walked past that road, nobody slapped you. Well, why can't you just think on the last 100 times you passed by that road? Why do you have to think about the one time you got slapped? Oh. Yeah, it's just, yeah, opinions are very subjective. Yeah, but when it comes to hatred, I just can't. A lot of people just focus on one negative aspect. And then they make that the root of everything. It's weird.
अरे लेकिन ये नैरेटिव तो गलत हो गया ना। ये हेटर लोग कैसे बिलीव करेंगे कि इंडिया को बाहर वालों ने सिविलाइज नहीं किया? हाँ, इंडिया का फिलॉसफी, साइंस, लिटरेचर ये सब बाहर से ही तो आया है, हजारों सालों पहले। ये सब लॉजिक वाली बातें मत किया करो भाई इन प्रोग्रेसिव लोगों के सामने, इनको डाइजेस्ट नहीं होता।
You guys remember the 1,30,000 rupee Prada sandal that looked exactly like the 300 to 5,000 rupee Kolhapuri? The uproar. Saris become draped gowns. Haldi doodh becomes a $9 latte. Tribal embroidery gets copied without naming the tribe. And
Yep. Like the chai lattes everyone's eating, not even understanding that chai's a word for tea. Yeah, well, it's chai. It's chai. But a lot of people don't know that. They go to Starbucks. Can I have the chai latte? Extra foam. Chai tea latte? I don't know. I think it's just the chai latte. That's how it's written there. Chai latte, extra foam, please. And get some cinnamon in there. But yet if they hear the word Indian, they're going to go, ew, that's disgusting. I'll have my chai latte, please. Sorry, you hate that? That's the thing. It's just like, hey, it's these people don't understand nothing. Like that's the thing. I was learning Hindi and I'm like, chai. Oh, I know that word. I hear it all the time when people are talking about their favorite drinks at Starbucks. Hate Starbucks, but whatever. What is a latte? I have no idea, if I'm honest. I have no idea. It normally means something very sweet with a lot of milk in it, I assume. What? Milkshake? Yeah, basically a milkshake. Please never upload any racism videos on any country for views. If I do, it's probably going to be about a particular group of people that either hate their nation or utilize other nations for pushing a fake narrative, like the moronic white people who all flew to Cuba. I mean, I hate those people that flew there just to act like Cuba's this great nation. It's insane. It's insane. Means drink with milk. Yeah, basically. Basically. Hate burns only when it is targeted at you. But if you are a basement dweller hating on Indians with Twitter monetization, why haven't you hate Indians? It feeds you. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know about it being fed, but yeah, hatred does get fed, spread massively on Twitter. Again, I'm not entirely there. I don't have much of a social presence. My main unemployment is here on YouTube. That's basically it. I'm here on YouTube, unemployed. Other than that, I'm spending time with my wife. I'm at work because I have a job. So I don't have time to get invested on X. I don't have time to get invested on like whatever's going on in the world. Yeah, it just I learn what I learn. I sometimes read news articles, but other than that, I mean, I stay out of it. I stay out of it because it's the happiest way to live a life. The happiest way to live a life because I can't understand hatred. I can't understand that kind of stuff. And the fact that they are literally taking like outfits, they're taking drinks, they're taking even shoes from India, putting like $1,000 price tag on it just so white people will buy it. Of course, they don't say it originally comes, the style originally comes from India because that'll prevent people from actually wanting to wear it.
Yoga becomes a luxury workout brand.
Oh, true.
We have to ask, who is getting paid? Did they credit the craft? Did they acknowledge the community? And most importantly, did they share the value?
They never do that. We need to learn from history. लेकिन समस्या हमारे यहाँ के बुद्धिजीवी लोगों में है, क्योंकि वो इसको भी जस्टिफाई कर सकते हैं चाहे तो। तुम लोगों को समझ नहीं आता क्या प्रॉब्लम है कहाँ पे? प्रॉब्लम है तुम्हारे इंटेंट में, इंडिया या वेस्ट में नहीं। तुम मन में पहले से मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, प्रेजुडिस और इरैशनल बिलीफ्स रखोगे, तो तुम जो भी देखोगे उसी लेंस से देखोगे, और ये एक बहुत लेजी अप्रोच है। तुम अपना दिमाग दौड़।
Yeah, I like that he mentioned that because it's like even when I was in college, one thing I had always said, like I had it as like I created like a Facebook page, and then I've never really done anything with it, but I had my banner as everything you hear about me is 100% true from a certain point of view. Because if someone tells a person a lie about me, that person will believe the lie and probably will never even talk to me to clarify if what they had heard was real. So their hatred towards me is 100% valid because they were told a lie and they believe that lie over me because they're never going to talk to me because they were told a lie. So it's just like, it's one of those things that people will always have a bias. And a lot of people don't ever actually look stuff up. Don't ever look stuff up. They hear something that they feel like they trust and then they go with it and just believe everything from that. Like the Tyler Overia making that video on the poop throwing? Yeah, it was poop throwing. In India, in the small little village in the middle of nowhere. It's just, why? Why? If you want to show a culture, go and show a culture. If you want to show like the nuances of like a small little community in the middle of nowhere, you have to constantly be stating that throughout a video. Constantly be stating that throughout a video. Because I watched a video where an Indian guy was talking about Mexico and how they worship Coca-Cola. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? What? And then he mentioned like the small little city out of nowhere, but only mentioned it once. And I'm like, and I was just like, no, this is the middle of nowhere. It makes sense. It makes sense because water was dirty and Coke was the only thing they could drink. But that stuff needs to be constantly reminded to the people. They need to constantly be told like, oh, just so you know, this is just a small little place in the middle of nowhere. This isn't all of India. This isn't all of Mexico. This isn't all of the US. But a lot of people have that in their mind. Like a lot of people, when they think California women, they probably think of like the Kardashian sisters, like several dim-witted women who have lived the life of luxury, not even understanding what a hard day's work is. That's probably where a lot of people's minds go, because or just women who are just out of touch. That's probably where people's minds go. Yeah, fun fact, Tyler Overia got banned in X and Twitter. I think he also got demonetized completely on YouTube, but that was for his Hasidic Jews in New Orleans video. Yeah, I think that's what it was for. But yeah.
बताना नहीं चाहते, प्लेटर पे सर्व करके तुमको सारा इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए एक जगह। तुम्हें कोई भी कुछ भी बोल के चला जाता है और तुम उसे क्वेश्चन नहीं करते। फिर तुम्हें मेरे जैसा कोई टेढ़ा मिल जाता है और बोलते हो, अरे नहीं, एक पॉजिटिव वीडियो इंडिया के बारे में 2026 में कैसे, भागो भागो यूट्यूब प्लीज इसको बैन करो। लेकिन टेढ़े लोग भी तुम्हें हर जगह मिल जाएंगे। ये लोग चाटते नहीं, सच बोलते हैं।
It only took you our haldi ka doodh to become a turmeric latte and our chai to become chai tea lattes are very normal.
So you're right, it is called chai tea. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you were always right. It's so weird. It's so freaking weird.
Hair oiling and protective hairstyles to become coconut hair mask and sleek back buns. Our clothes were too colorful and too loud until our dupattas became Scandinavian scarves and Madras chucks got onto Ralph Lauren runways. Our kamar buns, matha pattis, nathnis had to become boho chic to be cool. Yoga became yoga and our tan skin became an exotic trend. If Indians...
No, tan skin has been in for quite a while. It's been in for quite a while. It's weird because in India it's reverse, where you don't want to get tan. I mean, my wife literally fights with the sun to not get a single bit of it on her. I think that's weird. But yeah, she will literally fight the sun, but whatever.
cannot speak fluent English, it seems uneducated, but if Europeans, for example, have it broken, that's fine. Our food was always too smelly and too spice heavy until spices started being imported and now your national dish is chicken tikka.
ये इतने हैवान थे, इनके आगे नाजी जर्मनी भी शर्मा जाए। 1940 में जब बंगाल में फैमाइन आया था, कैलकाटा में डेड बॉडीज ऐसे पड़ी थी जैसे मक्खी मच्छर। और जब उसकी रिपोर्ट विंस्टन चर्चिल को दी गई थी, उसने साइड में छोटा सा स्क्रिबल कर दिया था, Why hasn't गांधी died yet?
अगर इंडिया उनके मॉडल को फॉलो करते तो शायद उनसे 1000 गुना आगे होता हर मामले में। लेकिन दिक्कत यही है कि इंडियन कल्चर तुमको कॉलोनाइजेशन, स्लेवरी और परसिक्यूशन नहीं सिखाता। मुझे बस अंधे हेटर्स से कहना है कि अगर तुम कुछ कर सकते हो या कोई सोल्यूशन दे सकते हो तभी मुंह खोलो। कंस्ट्रक्टिव क्रिटिसिज्म हमेशा सही है, लेकिन बस मॉरल पुलिसिंग और गाली सुनाने के लिए मुंह खोलना है तो गाली सुनने के लिए भी तैयार रहो। इंडिया में जब तक अंधे हेटर्स है तब तक पड़ोसी, चाइना, वेस्ट इनकी जरूरत ही नहीं है नाम खराब करने के लिए। और इंडिया में हमेशा से सिविक सेंस की कमी नहीं थी और इसको बिल्कुल सुधारा जा सकता है। बस जो जैसा है उसको वैसा देखना शुरू करो। अपने इंडियन सिविलाइजेशन, कल्चर, हिस्ट्री को लेके प्राउड रहो।
So when the Greeks came to India, what did they say? They didn't say we're coming to a primitive place. For them, and the Greeks, like Alexander, it said they thought India was a very advanced civilization.
क्या डर है? Well, it was the most civilized, well, at least since the Americas are completely eradicated in their history as like the Aztecs were, well, they died out before the Westerners even got here. The Cortez was hunting primarily in that region. But yeah, I mean, a lot of them had already died out prior to that. But at the same time, it was at that point in time the most advanced. The most advanced. I mean, with its trade, with its I mean, just seeing the fact that they had sewage is already a massive plus, because even modern cities, just like 100 years ago, was still dealing with that as an issue in streets. Is it a problem in India once again? Yeah. But that's more of a current issue caused by India literally being controlled over not actually being able, and then a massive population boost of it, again, being overpopulated, like was mentioned, and the fact that it's just like everything's doing catch-up work. All of India is just trying to catch up to where it should be after years or centuries of neglect.
क्या कि कोई तुम्हें प्रोग्रेसिव लिबरल समाज में एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं देगा इंडिया के बारे में अच्छा बोलने के लिए? फिर तुम देख लो भाई, दूसरों के अप्रूवल के लिए जीना है या खुद के लिए? तुम्हारे सामने कोई आलतू फालतू कुछ भी बोले तुम्हारे देश को लेके तो जवाब दिया करो ना।
From what I can see, you're brazenly racist and Islamophobic. And I'm sorry to say that we have Atiti Devo Bhava in this country where we welcome all, but your comments smack of anti-Indianism, worse still, Islamophobia, and even worse, racism, which has no place, ma'am, in today's world.
पता तो करो कम से कम चल क्या रहा है कि उस अकाउंट के पीछे कौन सा पाकिस्तानी, बांग्लादेशी या वेस्टर्नर है। तुम हेटर्स से तो अच्छे वो लोग हैं, उनको प्रोपेगेंडा और रियलिटी के बीच का फर्क पता है कम से कम। और बाकी लोगों को थैंक यू तुम्हारे सपोर्ट के लिए। इन हेटर्स की क्लास लेते रहो तुम लोग जब तक ये व्यूज या प्रोपेगेंडा के लिए एक पूरे देश और उसके लोगों का मजाक बनाना, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन फैलाना और रेसिज्म को जस्टिफाई करना बंद नहीं करते।
अगर आप उन लोगों में से हो जिनको एनिमल और धुरंधर टाइप की हाइपर वायलेंट फिल्में पसंद आती हैं, जरा अपने आप से सवाल पूछकर देखना, आखिर क्यों पसंद आ रही है आपको ये फिल्म? क्या आपके मन के अंदर
It's funny. I was like, oh, I recognize him. I was like, where the heck are they going with? I was like, oh, okay. Because it was the scene where he's talking about making fun of him for drinking cranberry juice. in the bar in The Departed, and he's just like, what are you, a woman? Are you on your period? It's just like, and then he bashes his head in. Oh my gosh, that was well placed right there. That was well placed right there. I like that ending. But yeah, people's hatred. Like, I have a mindset to, I don't know why, I won't talk about things I don't truly understand, and looking stuff up can only do so much. Can only do so much. Yes, you can get a kind of a general understanding, but if I hadn't visited India, if I hadn't been watching like movies and things like that for such a long period of time now, I don't think I'd be able to be like, oh, this white person spreading hate is completely wrong about everything, because I wouldn't have any physical, real, in-person experience. And I think in-person experience is important, especially when it's actually safe to travel there. I mean, there are places I would probably never travel to, but you have to travel somewhere to truly get a grasp. To truly get a grasp. And yes, there will be negatives, there will be positives. Like, I have a few bad experiences from when I traveled to India. Is that a blatant, like a complete stroke of the whole of India? No. Absolutely not. That was just someone seeing the color of my skin and profiling me and trying to take advantage of me. And I was too dead tired to actually fight it, so I was just like, you know what, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've had bad experiences there, but that isn't the entirety of India. It was just, it was a lot of people would just equate that one bad experience with everything. With everything. They ignore any other thing that happened, and then they just talk about that bad experience they had. And then make it sound like that bad experience was everything they did while in India. Was everything they did was just that bad experience. When that's not the case. That is absolutely not the case. Generalization, how human brain works. Yeah. But again, everyone has bias. Everyone has bias. But it is ridiculous to have your bias like kind of equate an entire group of people. Yes, generalization is a thing. And yes, you can have a bias to just not instinctively like people. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when people try to monetize it. I think that's where I have a massive issue with it. Where people are trying to make a career off of hating, which is just weird. Even when I watch a video where it's constantly like targeting hatred towards a group of people, I still try to talk about the fact that it's not everybody, but the fact is everyone gets painted with the same brush because people like to think that way, or they have had several bad experiences, or they grew up in a place in the world where they literally had nothing but bad experience from a certain type of people, a certain colored people, a certain kind of religious people. And then everyone they see, everyone they hear that is from that group, they will always target. And you always need to explain that even when you're like reacting, it's just like it's always a select group, and it always makes it worse for everybody. Because it targets everybody. Like, again, like you mentioned, generalization. People like to generalize. That's why you have to always step back and go like, no, this isn't everybody. This is probably a huge majority of the group, but it's never everybody. And again, I've always said I hate people. I love the individual, because I can always step back and be like, oh, I can be a friend with this one guy. But when he's in this group of people, he's a complete idiot. But I could be friends with him. Like, you know, a lot of people have that kind of thing where they have a friend and then he gets in another group and then he becomes that person becomes a complete idiot because he's in that group, because he's just trying to fit in. That's not really who he is or who she is. They're just trying to fit in. Everyone knows people like that. Everybody knows people like that. But it's hard for people to just see a group of people like that and be able to see a friend in there. Rather than, because I've seen it both ways where you can make a friend and then them make an idiot of themselves in a group of people, rather than seeing a group of people that are idiots and then trying to make a friend from that group of people. You just don't want to, because they're a group of people that are complete idiots. When you can make a friend with an individual, but that group of people you just don't want to have anything to do with. You just don't want to do anything with them. Hate people, love the individual. Take with that what you will. Take with that what you will.
You guys got a video? So bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Where's Sandra?